minutes away from first pitch. Little matinee here at Chase Field. Game 2 of 3 with the St. Louis Cardinals. A long look there at Tim Tawa, Mark Grace. We had him on the pregame show just moments ago. And the game last night, in many ways, went through him in the field and at the plate. And he's wearing it well, isn't he?
He's wearing it very well. And we had a guest on last night, Todd. His name is Luis Gonzalez. He says, when you're on a heater, you just don't even think about it. Well, Gonzo had a season-long heater in 2001. Right now, we're looking at close to a month-long heater from Tim Tawa. Not only at the plate, but out in the field in center field, Todd. Everything he's hitting is right on the barrel right now, and the Diamondbacks are lucky to have this guy in the lineup. He has been a big boost here the last couple of weeks.
And don't forget, he had the double and was left stranded in second base, I should say, in the bottom of the ninth. The lineup posted by Tori Lavelle today, sponsored by Trajan Wealth. And there you see Mr. Versatility himself, Tim Tawa, is at first base.
Yeah, the usual suspects there at the top of the order. And then you can see Nolan Arenado down in the 6th hole, and then Tim Tawa. James McCann going to get a look behind the dish, and Ryan Waldschmidt back in the outfield.
Yeah, probably much to do with the Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
I think you're right.
To the injured list. You're on the field right now. Brandon Pfaadt. When we come back, he'll be on the mound with a ball in his hand here and only here on D-Backs TV.
So I hammer the rudder.
Diamondbacks baseball is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Bundle home and auto for double play of savings. Start a quote by visiting progressive.com. By Chaz Roberts, serving you since 42. By Talking Stick Resort, Playcation is back. Stay in play with rates as low as $129. By Trajan Wealth, call Trajan Wealth today and get your game plan. And by Sanderson Ford, for the best play on a new vehicle, choose Sanderson Ford. Well, a pair of National League All-Stars towering over the valley here. Jordan Walker for the Cardinals and Corbin Carroll for the Diamondbacks, who are looking for a make-good back early this afternoon after stumbling to a sloppy loss last night. And Tori Lavelle was telling us this morning he hasn't been more frustrated after a baseball game all season.
It certainly sounded like it on his post-game interview I listened to on the radio on the way home last night. Just some severe frustration, all aspects of the game. I mean, it's easy to point out this play or that play, but it was the accumulation of bad baseball last night.
Yeah, Tori said he had about 15 plays that he could point to, but we're trying to flush that one and move on as we get a look at your Y-Refi starting pitcher stats for the Diamondbacks. It's the right-hander Brandon Pfaadt. The season totals do not tell the story, as we know. What matters is this: 3 wins and 3 starts since his recall from Reno at the end of June.
3 dominating wins in 3 starts. He's looked really good. His command has been outstanding. That family of fastballs, the 4-seamer, the cutter, the sinker. The sweeper works to the right-handed hitters, the curveball and the changeup to the lefties.
Cardinals, with their win here last night in the opener, moved into that final National League wild card spot, just a biscuit ahead of the Marlins, who've lost 4 in a row. And the rookie star, J.J. Weatherholt, is at the top of the St. Louis lineup.
Yeah, he's looked like a star in game 1 of this series. Real good-looking young player. Jordan Walker, of course, hitting in that 4 spot. They kind of kept him in check last night and had a little bit of an injury issue toward the end of the ball game. Was limping on his right leg, but back in the lineup today.
Well, let's get a look, Bob, around the diamond at the D-back defense. That's presented by CarShield.
Max Kepler getting a rare start 2 days in a row, but I loved his at-bats in the ball game last night. He put down a very unselfish bunt for a base hit, moved a runner up to second base into scoring position, and then later rolled over a ground ball with the runner at second to move him up to third. Unfortunately, the D-backs couldn't come up with that big hit with runners on base.
Ryan Walsh is our plate umpire calling balls and strikes, and Weatherholt, who had a big home run here last night, sent to lead it off. The second of 3 against St. Louis. An early afternoon start here in the Valley. And the fastball from Pfaadt is low. Weatherholt, 262 now with 14 homers. He broke that 2-2 tie in the 5th inning last night with that long home run into the right field seats. This is a bouncer to second for Ketel Marte. And a good start for Brandon Pfaadt. As Bob, we get your keys to the game presented by Ram Trucks.
Well, actually, both keys are highlighted on the starting pitcher for the Cardinals, Dustin May. Attack him early. First pitch, 1-0 counts, 0-1 counts. Early in counts, he's very susceptible. And come on, you left-handed hitters. Left-handed hitters hitting 85 points higher than righties against May this year.
Cardinals DH again, batting second, Ivan Herrera. The all-star for the Cardinals. Very shallow center. Ryan Waldschmidt out there this afternoon. Waldy's going to run it down, and from nowhere comes a diving Corbin Carroll. Waldschmidt and Marte trying to peel off one another, and suddenly from way out there in right field, Corbin saved the day. 2 outs on 3 pitches for Fawn.
I'm sure Dave McKay's going to want to talk about communication out there. This is a tweener right between the center fielder, second baseman, and right fielder. And Corbin out of nowhere comes into your picture. You saw Waldschmidt looking toward Marte, looking toward Waldschmidt, and Corbin said, "I'll take it."
And considering the way everybody can smile now, but considering the way they looked last night, that would have been an ugly continuation of things. But it's a quick 2 outs for Brandon Pfaadt. Now here's Alec Burleson, the first baseman, who looks at a fastball for a strike. Burleson at 273. He is second on the club in both home runs and RBIs, behind the All-Star Jordan Walker, who's on deck behind him. Just off the corner, Brian Walsh says no with that sinker. It's 1-1. Brandon Pfaadt has been a very different pitcher since he came up from Reno. Aggressive, attacking the strike zone, very efficient. Little tapper to first. Tim Tawa's got it. And how about this? 3 outs on 6 pitches for Brandon Pfaadt. Diamondbacks coming up against the former Dodger, Dustin May.
Woods is the fighter Arizona needs. Bold America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Back with you from Chase Field as Ketel Marte is sent to lead it off against your St. Louis starter, the right-hander Dustin May. After 6 seasons in Dodger blue and a brief stop in Boston last year, wearing Cardinals red in his first season with St. Louis.
We'll see a lot of fastballs to right-handed hitters, both the 4-seamer and the sinker. He'll throw the occasional cutter, especially to left-handed hitters.
Here is Ketel at second base to lead it off. All the talk, of course, around the ballpark was the missed strike 3 call by Bill Miller that ended last night's game. It went unchallenged and kind of summed up the collective Diamondback performance last night. The crew chief is at third base now today. A call that would obviously have been overturned had Ketel challenged, but he told reporters last night he was looking for a breaking ball and got the 2-seamer well above the zone. A little bit surprised by that, and by the time they figured it out, it was too late. You only get 2 seconds to challenge. It has to be immediate. And so the window closed, and the St. Louis Cardinals won the opener. That one is high, and do we have a challenge there? High has sort of tapped the top of his head. I guess not.
Very subtle.
Yeah, a little too subtle maybe for Brian Walsh back there. Let's see.
He started and then just went through with his throwing motion.
Sort of grazed the top of his head. And there's a good start. May, who has struggled lately, has an immediate walk to Marte to get it started. Here's a look around the diamond out. The Cardinals defensively this afternoon. Pedro Pajes behind the plate.
Yeah, trying to steal bases might be tough today. Pajes can really throw. He's thrown out 33% of the attempted base stealers this year. The other 2 catchers, however, on the Cardinals roster, we saw Jimmy Crooks last night and Ivan Herrera, the DH, combined 34 stolen bases, 0 caught stealing.
And they rotate 3, but Herrera, as we know, is mostly the DH. Pajes is by far the best defender of them. Jerry, 240 and 6 homers. He walked twice and scored a run last night. It is Geraldo Perdomo bobblehead day today. There are Perdomo bobbles all over the ballpark. A big crowd here this afternoon. Perdomo hits it hard, but right at Weatherholt. Mason Wynn able to turn 2, and May gets a big double play ball.
Well, we talked about this Cardinals middle infield last night. If they can afford to keep these 2 guys together, that's going to be one of the best double play combos in all of baseball moving forward.
Weatherholt just got his big extension. Mason Wynn is a Gold Glover. Base is empty, 2 down. Here's Corbin. Steals the first pitch strike with a curveball. Of course, it was Corbin Carroll's 8th inning home run off the netting on the right field foul pole last night that tied it up 4-4. His first home run since June 17th, a homerless stretch of 22 games. Doubled up, that time the changeup. No fastballs yet. This was it. It somehow hung on, didn't hook foul. Even Corbin thought maybe going foul there.
It was the body English that kept it fair. Corbin saw that ball starting to hook down the right field line. He was leaning toward fair territory. Unfortunately, it hit the pole out there.
And the fastball is right there at the belt at 99. When we come back, we'll talk to Geraldo Perdomo on his bobblehead day. He's all wired up on D-backs TV. Jerry live after this break.
Oh, hot dog.
Just underway, big crowd here on Geraldo Perdomo bobblehead day. And don't forget, you can stream D-backs and Cardinals for free today and tomorrow on dbacks.tv. It's presented by Progressive. No credit card required. If you've not yet subscribed to dbacks.tv, we'll give you this free view this weekend so you can get an idea of what you're missing out on. It's in D-backs territory only. Visit dbacks.com/watch for all the info. Watch today and tomorrow absolutely free. Jordan Walker, the reigning home run derby champ, leads off the second against Brandon Pfaadt. There's the strike. And it's 0-1. Anticipate we'll chat with Geraldo Perdomo a little bit later in the game as we get some microphone issues sorted out. Walker walked and singled in last night's opener. Sinker's a little low. He has hit 22 home runs this year, Jordan Walker, and is leading the major leagues in RBIs. There's a tapper foul, and it's 1-2. Walker is batting .323 during an active 19-game on-base streak. He's having a big month at the plate, as we saw on Monday and Tuesday in Philadelphia. That was quite a show.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier they kind of kept him in check last night. He did walk his first at bat, but then grounded out to short, had an infield single, struck out, and hit into a fielder's choice.
He's hit in 8 straight games, 13 of 14 this month. That one stays fair for Arenado, throwing on the run. And a perfect strike to Tawa. 4 up, 4 down for Brandon Pfaadt.
I don't know how Tim Tawa feels about it, but I played a little bit of first base, and when the infielder didn't get rid of the ball right away, it panicked me over there. Nolan takes 4 or 5 extra steps, but throws a strike to Tim Tawa, and plenty of time to get the out. But for guys that don't play a lot of first base, get rid of that ball quick. Give me some time over here.
Lars Nootbaar, the left fielder, steps in. Geraldo Perdomo playing up the middle. Can you hear us, Jerry?
I heard you guys. How
There
you
you
doing?
go. All right.
Thanks for doing this. How are you?
Good. A little bit pissed, but good.
Well, I think everybody is, but we'll get over it.
That's right.
How does the bobblehead look to you? Are you excited about this today?
Very excited. Amazing. It's gonna put a lot of smile into so many kids.
Well, you're good at that. You do that in real life and in bobblehead form.
I feel the most important they have is me talking, which made me laugh. It's kind of fun.
Geraldo, let me ask you a question. You're one of the best shortstops in the game. Who are the other shortstops in the game that you look up to or you respect their game?
When coming up, it was more Brandon Crawford. Crawford and Lindy, that's been the top 2, honestly.
As we chat live with Geraldo Perdomo on the field, it's our Active Mic presented by the Active Cash Card.
But
Jerry, nice enough to let us listen.
I grew up being Cal Ripken fans, Cal Ripken and Derek Jeter. Cal Ripken because he played every single thing, so I tried to play like him every single time.
I know you always campaign for Torrey. You don't want any off days.
No. We don't get paid for a day off. We get paid for play.
Here's Mason Wynn, who won the Gold Glove at shortstop last year for the Cardinals. And this is line to left. Kepler will play it on a hop. And it's a 2-out single, the first hit for the Cardinals. Jerry, how is the hand feeling? We're told he had a little soreness in that left hand.
Right-hander.
Right hand.
Yeah, no, it feels way better. Everybody know I get a cortisone shot, and that made the swelling go a little bit down. But I I'm no type of player that crying to the manager all the time when I feel something. So I've been playing without for a little while, and you know, the last 3 days been feel way better.
I bet. Did the All-Star break help? What'd you do over the All-Star break?
Nothing. I just get the MRI and the cortisol shot. You know, just try to be chill at my place and be ready for the second half. You know, it's a lot of baseball left, and you know what we're doing. 100 wild card race. So, you know, I want to play in October again.
That's what I
told to my teammate. You know how much important is playing in October. The bye is very different. You know, that's why I try to tell them every single time, like, we gotta win again.
We've got a great view of you here, Geraldo. As Brandon Pfaadt is getting ready to pitch, you're taking a look at first base to make sure the runner over there isn't breaking. You look back at Brandon, you look back at the runner at first base. A lot going on.
Oh yeah, that's what I always do. You know, I always pay attention to the runner. I don't want to get caught by hand or get surprised with the leg steal. So I try to be ahead every play.
0-2 on Nathan
really
Church.
Faster too.
Mason Wynn, yeah, he can run.
Yeah.
What kind of a lift did the Dodgers suite give you guys going into the break?
A lot, you know. We put a lot of pressure on Matt Hazen, so we gotta buy. We gotta buy.
Pressure on Mike Hazen. I like that.
I mean,
you
guys know we've been being out the last 2 years for 1 game, so.
Well, you're going to lead us back this year, Jerry. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Geraldo Perdomo on his bobblehead day. Brandon Pfaadt with his first strikeout, and we are scoreless in the second.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Geraldo Perdomo.
And that is the talking Geraldo Perdomo bobblehead. Our thanks again to Jerry for letting us chat and bother him during while he's trying to play shortstop in a major league game. But as usual, he's laser focused. Gabriel Moreno leads off the second against Dustin May, coming off a 9-pitch first.
Knowing ball players' humor the way I do in the clubhouse,
yeah,
I would imagine that everybody on the Diamondbacks, if they win the ball game today, is going to take their Geraldo Perdomo talking bobblehead doll and hit the button at the same time in the clubhouse.
I hope not. Ooh, my voice is on there. It's too much. 0-2 on Gabby, who's the DH today. James McCann working behind the plate. 2 more hits for Moreno last night. He singled and doubled. Gabby now at 304 on the year. Moreno has reached base safely now in 33 consecutive starts, dating all the way back to June 2nd. And since that date, he has a .350 batting average. Diamondbacks certainly familiar with Dustin May. 6 years in Dodger blue. Of course, he was hurt for much of that time. He's been stalled lately by more injury issues. And Gabby trying to dunk it in front of Walker, and he does. Moreno another hit. We talk a lot about Tim Tower lately, and deservedly so, but boy, Moreno now, he's hit in 9 straight, 13 of 14.
Once again, going to the opposite field. His approach at the plate is get the bat on the ball. Watch this one last night. He almost gets up on his toes to hit that ball into right field. You want to talk about making an adjustment in mid-pitch. He's looking in the strike zone for something to hit. He sees that fastball up and out over the plate and just poked it into right field.
So now make it 34 consecutive starts when he's reached base safely. First pitch curveball to Max Kepler.
And notice that Fermin down at third base is playing in on the grass after that beautiful bunt Kepler put down last night.
That was in his first at bat. It was just perfectly executed for a bunt single. Kepler's hit in 4 straight, 5 of his last 6. He's got 8 RBIs in those last 6 games, batting 5th in the lineup today. Well, this might stay playable for fair meet at third, and he's got just enough room. And there's one away in the second.
Hey fans, if the D-backs hit a double, you get $15 off your next Uber Eats order of $30 or more. We took advantage of that last night up here in the booth.
Tacos. Arenado bats 6, 240 and a dozen homers for Nolan. And the former Cardinal drew a potentially critical walk to lead off in the 9th inning last night. Nolan goes into today 4 hits away from 2,000 for his career.
Nolan Arenado, we know he was out here very early this morning with a batting practice pitcher and his hitting coach, Joe Mather. Just the 3 of them on the field.
He's a tireless worker, even with all he's accomplished at this level. There's Joe Mather, one of the hitting coaches, along with Damian Easley, Travis Dinker. That one is just by the diving Gold Glover Mason Wynn. Arenado 3 away from 2,000. And there's 2 on and 1 out now for Tim Tower.
That's a good sign because Mason Wynn caught everything hit his direction last night. That one just out of his reach as he makes a dive toward that 5.5 hole. Just beyond his glove.
Yeah, Wynn's glove was certainly a big factor in last night's game, as was Tim Tower's bat. And here he is, back at first base today. Torey Lovullo was saying this morning, when somebody's on the heater like Tim Tower, get out of the way and ride the wave.
I've heard that before.
Yep. But he thinks what's really helped him is lately he's been more selective up there, kind of checking off pitches that in the past might be problematic for him. That's rule number 1, right? Ted Williams, get a good pitch to hit.
Get a good pitch to hit. And Timmy's approach at the plate, he's very compact, very little movement before the pitcher releases the ball. I think that allows him to see the pitch a little better, maybe identify rotation more quickly.
That's been a big change for him that he worked on all winter long. It's a lot quieter. He used to have a big waggle up there. He's changed his approach, the bat angle into the zone. It's a little flatter and in the zone longer. Jeff Bannister and Torey Lovullo there. 2-1 on Tower. Moreno is at second and Arenado at first. That's a good example right there. He might have taken a whack at that cutter earlier this year or last season. 3-1 now. He's put himself in a good count. James McCann on deck behind him. This has been problematic for Made lately. A lot of pitches early in games. .3-1 sinker at 98, still throws hard, Dustin May. .3-2 on the way. And right back to that power sinker and picks up his second strikeout.
For me, Dustin May is one of those guys I think has been hurt a little bit by adding more pitches to his arsenal. He's had that devastating sinker since he first got to the major leagues, and as you said, 98, 99 with nasty sink on it. You don't really need much more than that. Some kind of an off-speed pitch, maybe something that spins a little bit, but so many pitchers nowadays just want to keep adding more pitches to their arsenal.
Sweeper missed the corner on James McCann, who's at 227. James came off the injured list with a single at San Diego last Tuesday, then had a couple of home runs at Dodger Stadium. last weekend. And a base hit through Gabby Lane. J.R. House will wave Moreno home. James McCann makes it 1-0 Diamondbacks. And Arenado's in at third. I guess both catchers are allowed to use Gabby Lane.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. You know, if one catcher hits it over there, they all ought to hit it over there. I love that opposite field approach. So many pitchers work away to right-handed hitters, and more often than not, there's a big hole on that right side of the infield, and James McCann took advantage.
Diamondbacks, that's their first base hit in this series with a runner in scoring position. McCann delivers. 2-out RBI knock ahead of Ryan Walshman. Waldy back in center. He bats ninth. Just recalled from Reno last week in time to play in that Dodger Stadium sweep over the weekend. 250 in 35 games. And this is rookie year. Ryan, 23 years old, Diamondbacks first rounder just 2 years ago out of the University of Kentucky. Their minor league player of the year last season.
See that big hole on the right side. Gabby Lane wide open for Waldy.
That's a pitch that he would have swung at before. Right there. That's the book on Walshman. You get him in a 2-strike count. Right on rate. Breaking stuff down and away. He's learned to lay off that pitch. And goes back to that power sinker, which gets him his third strikeout, but James McCann makes it 1-0 Diamondbacks.
Regroup at the shrubbery.
My grandfather, who kind of taught me a lot about this game, he says, hey, fans want to know that in a win that they're proud of you and can be happy for you in a win. But in a loss, you give them hope for tomorrow.
Oh, I love that. That's the sage advice from our resident baseball philosopher, also the bench coach for the Diamondbacks, Jeff Bannister, as we bring you back to Chase Field, top 3, 1-0 Diamondbacks. And Steve, I just had a chance to talk to Jeff. I wanted to check the temperature, really, of him and the room. And, you know, as we talked off air before we recorded that, bottom line is that baseball is at its best a game of redemption. And as he said, it's also a game of failure at every turn. But there was a lot of table touching this morning, a lot of conversations. And as Tim Tawa said, no one was happy about last night.
Well, Nolan able to block that ball off the batter of Fermin and get the out. Well, there wasn't a lot to be happy about. Torrey kind of explained to us this morning how he handles a day like this, Bob. And you have the coaches approach the players kind of individually. Everybody has a different assignment. Brian Kaplan, Jeff Bannister, so forth down the line, Dave McKay, and then Torrey kind of follows up individually by himself.
Yeah, some guys need a little more attention. Some guys are lower maintenance players. I tell a story all the time about the 0-1 team, and obviously they knew how to win, but they also knew how to lose. You know, you're not going to win every ball game over the course of the summer, and you're going to have some real clunkers along the way, but you have to find a way to let those go quickly and come back and play your best game the next day.
Pedro Pajes, the catcher, bats ninth. I mean, Torrey was pretty frank and understandably upset about last night. Said he's never been more frustrated after a baseball game all season. And there were about 15 things that ticked him off, and one of them was Barossa getting picked off. So this is the process we talked about. The follow-up the following day, one-on-one individual conversations. Torrey's never been a big team meeting guy where you get the whole group in a room and yell at him for a while. He likes to do things one-on-one. Second strikeout for Fought. And now it's J.J. Weatherholt.
Pajes needs to set his alarm. Took a fastball right down the middle of the plate that time.
This is the way Brandon Pfaadt starts have been going. Aggressive, relentless attacking of the strike zone. 2 quick outs. Here's Weatherholt, who grounded out to lead it off. And the first pitch curveball is a strike. Interesting with Fott that curveball has become as good and maybe even better than the sweeper, which for the longest time was Fott's kind of signature breaking pitch. That curveball's come a long way.
It really has. I mean, the sweeper at times has a little bit of downward movement, but more than anything, it's a flat horizontal break across the strike zone. And if you don't hit your spot, it's a little easier to hit a flat breaking ball than a curveball that has that downward break. You've got to be more exact to make solid contact with that curve.
As we just saw, he's faced 10 batters now. He's thrown a first pitch strike to 8 of them. So far, just the Mason Wynn single. The Cardinals only hit. That cutter runs in. It's 2-1.
One thing I really like about Brandon Pfaadt over his last 3 starts, plus so far today, is how he's keeping the ball down. The only time he goes up in the zone is if he intends to.
A little tapper on the changeup. Brandon Pfaadt, 3 wins in 3 starts since the Reno recall, all against National League West Division opponents, coincidentally. Beat the Giants here at Chase in his return from Reno, then wins on the last trip at San Diego and Dodger Stadium. 15 2/3 innings in his last 3 starts. He's given up only 3 runs.
And the last time Brandon Pfaadt faced St. Louis was on this day last year. Went 7 innings, gave up only 4 base hits in a 7-3 Diamondbacks win.
Four-seamer on 2-2 is up high. Brandon in those previous 3 starts has walked 1 batter, struck out 10. Up the middle, Perdomo is right there. Weatherholt 0 for 2, and a nice shutdown third for Brandon Pfaadt, who holds a 1-0 lead.
Feeling only a Metro.
Back with you on D-Backs TV. Shamrock Farms gives us a look down on the farm. Jose Fernandez starting to heat up with Reno now. A home run last night. He's hitting .375 in July. 10 games with the Aces. And there's our Shamrock Farms down in the Farms report.
Well, that's what you hope for when guys are up in the major leagues for a cup of coffee and then get sent back to AAA. You want to see improvement. You want to see those numbers start to climb up there. You want to see better at bats, and it looks like Fernandez is starting to figure it out.
Ketel Marte leads off the 3rd against Dustin May. And Ketel trying to drop it in just beyond the reach of Weatherholt. He's aboard again. That's the 4th hit for the Diamondbacks. A leadoff single in the 3rd.
Hey fans, when the D-backs hit a home run, you score a free Jumbo Jack from Jack in a Box with the purchase of a large drink.
So Marte has walked and singled. Here's Jerry, who hit into a double play his first time up. You can get to Dustin May early in games. That's been the issue with the Cardinals right-hander. Three innings so far. The Diamondbacks leadoff hitter in the inning has reached base every time. Marte a walk in the 1st. Moreno and Marte singles in the 2nd and 3rd. Very late time granted by the plate umpire Brian Walsh. In Dustin May's last 2 starts, he's had to throw so many pitches early in both those games that he's had to be pulled before finishing the 5th inning. It's been a troubling pattern for the Cardinals. That one missed. He missed a start, or left to start, June 21st with back tightness. So that meant an 11-day layoff. Came back from that break and then got nailed by a comebacker off the right ankle and couldn't finish the 1st inning. So he's not really stretched out like you think he normally would be at this point. And some of these short starts and the high pitch counts have been a big reason why. He was really good June 15th, a complete game 1-hit shutout against the Padres, but he's not won since. There's Ollie Marmol, the Cardinal skipper. They've had some extended downtime between starts. He's twice gone short, so in a sense they've had to kind of reintroduce a pitch count for Dustin May. Get him stretched back out. And you always worry about his health with his physical history. 3-1 on Perdomo. Corbin Carroll on deck. Cutter is in there. Full count, 3-2.
Well, you got to love the opposing team's media notes. How about this? Dustin May joins Nathan Church, Hunter Dobbins, Mark McGuire, Red Shane Deist, and Rex Hudler as notable red-headed Cardinals.
No wonder, dog. No, no stone goes unturned.
I guess not.
Try to work that into the show if you can. Oh, wait, you just did.
I've never seen that in the media notes before.
I guess you have to treat him very gingerly.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I thought so. There goes Marte, and it's ball 4 to Perdomo. And they got something cooking here. First two aboard in the third against Dustin May. Chance for Corbin, who homered last night. He struck out looking his first time up today. Marte is at second, Perdomo at first. Diamondbacks already have 4 hits in the game. May has walked 2. Got a cutter. May didn't get that in there probably as much as he would have wanted to, but it worked out. And hopefully Corbin is okay. Ryan Walsh going to give him a moment here. Diamondbacks, a 2-out RBI single by James McCann in the second, trying to pad that lead here in the third. 2 on and nobody out. Broken bat up the middle. It's off the mound for Wynn. There's 1 and 2. And Marte is into third. Second double play turned by the St. Louis infield so far. And here's Gabriel Moreno, who led off the second with a single, came around to score in the McCann RBI. StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud since July 6th. He's using the whole field.
Using that whole field. That makes him tough to pitch to. It makes him tough to defend against. You don't know whether he's going to pull a fastball down that left field line or shoot one through Gabby Lane. He's spraying them all over. 469 since the 6th of July.
Well, this had the makings of a big inning, but now you've got Marte at third and 2 down. And Gabby looks at a sweeper. Paez kind of clanked that pitch, but it didn't roll quite far enough away for Gattel to come home. Pedro Paez back there today.
I'll tell you something I've seen an awful lot of this year is catchers trying to frame pitches and either missing them or dropping them or clanking them off the end of their glove, trying to pull the ball back into the strike zone when we have ABS. I understand the value of framing, but not if it lets balls go to the backstop.
Especially with runners at third base. 1-1 to Gabby. And he punches that foul the other way, that cutter. Gabby already now 3 hits in the series. He has scored twice. He's hit in 9 straight games and 13 of his last 14. Where that broken bat ground ball really may have bailed out Dustin May here. Ahead of Moreno, 0-2. That kicks up. Here comes the runner, and he scores. Gattel able to sneak in high, stepping across home plate. And the Diamondbacks get a gift run. It's 2-0. A wild pitch charge to Dustin May, who spikes the baseball in frustration.
Pitch over to the left-handed batter's box. Paez just tries to reach out and backhand it. Fortunately, he got far enough away for Gattel to sneak home.
They're able to get that leadoff single home for a 2-0 lead. Now it's 1-2 on Moreno. And Gabby knocks it the other way. Boy, they left all of left center field wide open for him. Church was way over by the pool, trying to close off Gabby Lane, so it simply knocks it by the shortstop win. He hit it to the left side. Let's save that baseball as a souvenir.
Yeah, the Cardinals had swung their outfield around. As you said, Church was playing over in front of the pool. Walker was almost on the right field line. There was a monster gap in left center field and down the line in left. That's why he is so tough to pitch to.
Max Kepler now. Kepler fouled out his first time. He gets the start in left field today. It was about as close with that overshift as we've seen the rules allow since the DJ LeMahieu shift in Colorado, when they had the entire defense on the first base side of second. Good take right there by Max. That low cutter, 3-0 in the pitch count, as we've mentioned before, climbing early in the game for May, who had a 9-pitch first, but he's at nearly 50 pitches here in the third. Arenado on deck. Fastball is high, no challenge. Kepler stays patient, works a walk, and a long inning gets longer for the Cardinal right-hander, who will face Nolan Arenado. Nolan singled his first time up. Two base hits and 2 walks in the inning for May. Pages out to the mound. Diamondbacks organization, as we know, deep ties to the Venezuelan community, and the D-backs are teaming up this weekend with Major League Baseball in the aftermath of Venezuela's devastating earthquakes. Our charitable portion of our 50-50 raffle will benefit organizations providing humanitarian aid to those most impacted by the earthquakes in Venezuela. So you can participate online, dbacks.com/5050, from anywhere in the state of Arizona. Already up over $44,000. And the Diamondbacks, half of that money will go to help earthquake victims in Venezuela. Arenado down the line. Moreno coming home. Max Kepler chugging into third. They're going to wave him all the way in. Here's the relay. Kepler is safe. Arenado 2 for 2, and it's 4-0 Diamondbacks.
And we saw a lot of swings like that early this morning when Nolan was out here taking extra batting practice. Catches that ball out in front of home plate and rips it down that left field line. It looked like Kepler was slowing down slightly as he got to third base right there. Maybe a little surprised to get the go sign from J.R. House, especially challenging Mason Wynn's arm, but Kepler able to get the hand on the dish. Nice, nice.
2 more RBIs for Nolan. He's 2 for 2. Dusty Blake, the pitching coach, out to the mound, and we'll remind you that with that D-backs double, you'll get $15 off your next Uber Eats order of $30 or more. Just use the code D-backs 2026. Too shy of 2,000 career hits for Arenado. All 4 Diamondback runs so far against May have come with 2 outs. And a long meeting here with Dusty Blake, the pitching coach.
Nobody throwing quite yet in the Cardinals bullpen. Some guys are up and moving around, maybe playing a little catch, but no activity yet.
Well, it looked like that broken bat double play would bail May out of a big inning, but since Corbin Carroll hit into that, we've gone single, walk, 2-run double. And now Tim Tao is the 7th man to bat here in the Diamondback third. And he looks at a sweeper for a strike. Tim back at first base today. Another big night last night. That run-saving diving catch in center field. Then the home run in his first at bat. And a 2-out double in the 9th. right on the corner. Pretty good spot for that pitch from May. It's 0-2.
Yeah, so far so good for the D-backs. Playing good defense, some heads up base running, and they're 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position.
It's always nice. Didn't do so well in that regard last night. Tim over his last 4 games now, going back to the opener at Dodger Stadium last weekend, has doubled 3 times, homered 3 times, and knocked in 8 runs. Wow. He is just killing the ball right now. Oh boy, that's the pitch that he struck out on his first time. That power sinker down in the zone to Arenado. Now 2 hits away from 2,000. Marte comes home. High stepping on that wild pitch. And then Kepler all the way around from first. It's 4-0 after 3.
Introducing the
Now Nolan Arenado has certainly made himself part of the Arizona landscape. After 5 years in St. Louis, now a Diamondback and a big day so far. He has singled, doubled, and knocked in 2 runs. All part of a 4-0 Diamondback lead as we present the D-backs Baseball Network, presented by Progressive. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, Todd Walsh, Mark Grace along the way. Nolan Arenado now 2 hits shy of 2,000 for the career. And lots of offensive support for Brandon Pfaadt, who so far has gotten 9 outs on just 30 pitches. He's allowed only a Mason Wynn single back in the 2nd inning. This is what we've come to expect from Brandon, certainly. He spoils us since the recall from Reno. So good in his last 3 starts. All wins. Ivan Herrera, the DH, leads off the Cardinal 4th, and there's a sinker for a strike. Change up a little low. McCann will challenge.
Catcher. Ball call.
Ryan Walsh is our plate umpire.
Calls confirm the pitch is a ball. Arizona has 1 challenge remaining.
Whoa. Close, but leading off the inning, nobody aboard. Down to 1 challenge. 1-1 now. This is the way Brandon Pfaadt has pitched, certainly at Dodger Stadium last weekend when he sent down 15 to the first 17 Dodgers he faced in that game. And he's on a similar course here so far today. And that's been the key for Brandon Pfaadt. Aggressive, attacking, relentless in the zone. 72 pitches, 54 strikes to beat the Padres. 77 pitches, 55 strikes in that win in LA. Throwing strikes again here today.
And he does attack the strike zone, but it's not right down the middle of the plate.
That's key.
Yeah, that's the key. I mean, a lot of major league pitchers can go out there and throw strikes, but they're belt high middle of the plate.
It doesn't work out too good.
Not too good.
And it's foul at 3rd. Well, this is the concept that Brandon has really grabbed onto, and he says repeated now the last 3 outings. Just be as efficient as possible, pound the zone, attack guys, and make sure that you're being the aggressor, and that's what he's been certainly. Herrera battling that sinker. That's that renewed aggression that's really taken off for Brandon Pfaadt. Establish the zone, use the full mix of pitches after that. 4 foul balls here from Herrera. 8th pitch of the AB on the way. Mixing up the breaking balls. We saw a whole lot of sweepers there. Then he drops in that curveball that time just to mix it up.
Yeah, the curveball is usually a pitch he saves for the left-handed hitters and uses a sweeper to the righties, but he can throw either one to either side.
Throwing them sinkers, changeups, sweepers, curveballs. Pitch number 9 coming up. And Marte is right there. Took 9 pitches, but he gets the out, and we get this from Tim Hovick in Santan Ford.
You can only launch 1 hot dog at a time. What's the point?
Hey, Tori. You guys gotta stop ordering hot dog cannons from my office.
Hey, we're just trying to improve the fan experience.
Tori Lavello in a rotating acting role along with Tim Hovick. Here's Alec Burleson. By the way, the Mickey Wheeler suggestion for Series 3 is really taken off.
Well, I would imagine.
Yeah, Mickey, our ace cameraman down there, has sent in some production notes. Very creative guy, and maybe look for that later in the year. He's like, I think Tim Hovick would like the idea of going down there and playing around with Mickey's camera there, getting some shots.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Tori can come over and yell at him.
I want to see Mickey yell at him.
You don't want Mickey yelling at you. He did, like, yeah, right there. Step right in there, Tim. It's all yours. Burleson ducks it into short right. Just the second hit for St. Louis. It's a 1-out single in the fourth.
You know, I got in trouble back in the day, partner. Mickey's camera down there. There used to be a gentleman named Duke that ran that camera. And there was a really small, I mean, like a 9-inch screen monitor on the floor right next to the camera.
Yeah.
Well, if I would lean back just a little bit and take a peek over into the camera well, I could see the broadcast and see whether the pitch was in or out, up or down. And eventually they got on to us and made us get rid of the monitor.
And now they police all that stuff.
Oh,
iPads and everything. Jordan Walker grounded out his first time. Well, that wasn't illegal then. Wouldn't want to do anything illegal.
No.
Danny. So I don't see what the big deal was. You're just checking the replay.
Yeah.
Innocent enough. But if you were to then turn it around and yell at the umpires and tell them that they may have missed a call or two, I'm sure in a very polite, supportive fashion.
Always.
Timeout by Walker. Well, that's a great spot where Mickey is. He's right in the heart of it. He's right next to Bandy and Torrey, Brian Kaplan, all the coaches, getting us those great shots on dbacks.tv. Hope you're enjoying your free weekend. dbacks.com/watch. If you've not subscribed to dbacks TV, you're getting a free view today and tomorrow. We'll do it again for you tomorrow. 12:30 start. Game at 1:10. dbacks.com/watch is the place to go. And you can watch the game for free. Slow bouncer to third. Arenado high hop. Tough throw. Walker gets up that line pretty quick. And Arenado makes yet another play look routine. Burleson into second and 2 outs.
Yeah, that's the thing. He can handle a routine play like he's asleep. But he makes the tough plays look routine. That was not an easy play with a speedy runner going down that first base line. But once again, a throw right on the money, on the move.
Walker's grounded out over there twice. Might want to look for a different plan. Lars Nootbaar now, the left fielder. Burleson at second and 2 outs. D-backs about hit St. Louis 6-2. They lead at 4-0 here in the fourth. Nootbaar singled in his final at bat last night. He was 1 for 4. Grounded out his first time up today. Just pounding that strike zone. This is the Brandon Pfaadt that we've seen now the last 3 starts. 50 pitches, 35 strikes, aggressive, efficient. Well, that's another. You were just talking about that. Trying to frame the pitch on the corner. McCann on that sweeper.
I mean, watch where the ball initially contacts his glove. It hit him in the heel to start with, and then he was trying to push it back toward that corner and maybe get a call from Brian Walsh.
Might have just nicked the corner had they challenged it. 1-2 now. a little low with a changeup. Long inning here for Brandon Pfaadt. Mason Wynn, the shortstop, has one of 2 St. Louis hits. Burleson at second has the other. Notice when James McCann catches, you never know if it's the pitcher or the catcher, obviously, but James will often call for the same pitch 2, 3, 4 times in a row sometimes.
If you're sure that's the pitch that should be thrown in that situation, sometimes you have to do that.
Throwing them back-to-back changeups here. Let's see what they want to do now on 2-2. Came in with a sinker, skies it to center for Waldy. And Brandon Pfaadt for scoreless against the Cardinals and leading 4-0.
Because of you.
Todd Walsh back here at Chase Field, but let's take you around the league. Presented by 365. You are not going to believe what you're looking at here from Wrigley Field. A weekend-long celebration of the 2016 World Series champs. 10-year anniversary, and Michael Busch in the bottom of the first inning launches a ball 402 feet into the right field bleachers, and guess who catches it? Anthony Rizzo. Apparently he's done that before, but not part of the Cubs celebration of what went down 10 years ago. I know Eddie Vedder had a special performance last night for the guys there, and can you, if you're at that game, you're going to remember that moment forever, just like 2016. And if you can get to the broadcast and the call of it, it's it's over the top as it should be. How about that?
I was pretty impressed with young Mr. Rizzo's moss. The youngster had some pretty impressive hair working there.
Yeah, hanging upside down there for a minute as his dad was going for the ball.
And Michael Busch, that home run in the first inning. Cody Clemens homered twice for Minnesota in that game. There are only 2 runs as the Cubs won 6-2. Chicago holding that top National League wild card spot.
Yeah, that Chicago game got delayed. A lot of rain back there early this morning, but apparently it's cleared.
Well, McCann strikes out to lead off the 4th. That's 5 punch-outs now for Dustin May. And there's one away for Ryan Waldschmidt. Aldi a strikeout victim his first time. Sinker's there, still throwing hard, Dustin May. Of course, he's got that lengthy injury history, hopefully behind him. Started last season with the Dodgers, went to Boston at the trade deadline, then signed with the Cardinals as a free agent in December. A lot of people around St. Louis, I mean, right now they're in the postseason. If the season ended today, well, first that'd be a big story.
But a record, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that they might trade Dustin May. I mean, he's been a usable starting pitcher for them. Seems a funny time to trade a starting pitcher if you're in the postseason picture at the deadline, but a lot of people think that might happen. And Waldy knocks it all the way to the wall. He's on the move, and he's going to stop at second. Ryan Waldschmidt, a one-out double. .103 off the bat.
Sinker up and in that time, just kind of fought it off into right center field, but got the barrel on it. Scoots by all the way to the warning track. By the time they get it in, Waldy's in scoring position for the top of the order.
Now 7 hits for the Diamondbacks. Here's Cattell, who has walked, singled, and scored from the leadoff spot. May nearly threw that sweeper to the backstop, didn't quite sweep. There's Mason Wynn, the shortstop, trying to keep Waldy close. Cattell took a rip with that fastball.
Well, that got Paez too. Hit him in the palm of the glove. Immediately started shaking out that left hand.
Right in the heel of the hand.
Yeah, I can still remember what those feel like. You're expecting the ball to hit in the webbing of the glove, or in the pocket of the glove rather, and Ends up hitting you down low on the palm.
I see you shaking your hand just watching that. Gittell splits the gap in left center. Waldy got a little bit of a late read. J.R. House going to send him anyway. Marte's into second, and it's 5-0. Well, Ryan Waldschmidt hesitated there until the ball dropped into left center. The throw got cut off. Marte with a single and an RBI.
Yeah, I'm sure that Dave McKay will have a talk with Ryan Waldschmidt about looking to see where the outfielders are positioned defensively. I mean, obviously, we've got a great vantage point up here in the press box, but you could clearly see that ball was going to split the left and center fielder. And a little bit of a late break by Waldy, but he makes up for it with his speed.
Geraldo Perdomo has hit into a double play and walked on his bobblehead day today. Marte, the leadoff hitter, has been aboard 3 times. A walk, 2 singles, an RBI. He scored a run. Diamondbacks now 5 runs on 8 hits. All in support of Brandon Pfaadt, who's worked 4 scoreless so far. Heard Jerry tell us earlier, there's Brandon Pfaadt, who so far has given up only 2 singles. We had Perdomo mic'd up earlier today, said that cortisone shot he got in his right hand is feeling a lot better after the All-Star break. Just dealing with some lingering inflammation in that hand. Short left, long way to come in for Nootbaar, and he's got under it for the second out. And that'll bring up Corbin Carroll. A reminder, you can purchase a Pokemon Go special event ticket pack for the game against the Rockies Tuesday, August 11th. You'll get a ticket to the game, plus this exclusive Pokemon Go hat. One of the several versions we have.
Yeah, they got all kinds of versions. I'm not sure what any of them mean, but I'm sure there's some Pokemon fans out there that would love to have these hats. They got the Pokemon Go on the back. They got the D-backs logo on the side.
It's pretty detailed, actually.
Pretty nice, pretty nice.
dbacks.com/Pokemon Go, all one word, is the place to go to get your special event ticket pack. Corbin has struck out, hit into a double play. A lot of stuff going on here with all the bobbleheads. Of course, you've got the Harry Potter giveaway, now the Pokemon Go giveaway. Serpientes Haboob Globe coming up in August. A lot going on here at the ballpark. dbacks.com. Check out all the special giveaways coming up over the second half of the year. And our tremendous fans have helped chip in again as the Diamondbacks, with deep ties to the Venezuelan community, are teaming up with Major League Baseball. And the charitable portion of the 50-50 raffle will benefit all the organizations providing humanitarian aid to earthquake victims in Venezuela. Already up over $60,000 now with a 50-50. Nice. Only halfway through the game. And our staff here working hard at the ballpark selling 50-50 tickets. You can join along from home from anywhere in the state of Arizona. dbacks.com/50-50. Going to be a big jackpot, a big crowd in here today. A lot of people in here on this Saturday afternoon for the Geraldo Perdomo bobbleheads. 2-2 on Corbin Carroll.
Oh, zoom ball.
Yeah, that got away. And if you're watching us on the Diamondbacks Free View weekend, don't forget to play along with a 50-50. dbacks.com/50-50. Brenly special is 602 tickets for $100.
Can't beat it.
Today's jackpot benefits Venezuela earthquake relief efforts. And that's a sweeper that won't be challenged by Pedro Paez. I'm not sure what he's waiting for on that one, because that looked like strike 3 for sure. But Carroll takes the walk. This is close enough, certainly, to merit a challenge. Corbin's aboard now, and a chance for the red hot Gabriel Moreno, who has singled twice and scored twice. 4th walk issued by Dustin May. He's walked 4. He struck out 5. Mentioned this before, but this is a repeated pattern with Dustin May, throwing so many pitches that they have to get him out of there before the end of the 5th inning. He's up over 70 now in the ball game. Gabby Lane has been very, very popular for Moreno lately. In fact, we put a sign up there, Bob.
Yeah, but I want you to notice the center fielder and the right fielder, and look at the gap in left center and down the line in left. They're giving him all that area over there because of what he has done. He drives the ball to the opposite field. It forces the other team to play him that way.
Yeah, Church way over near the pool. And Nootbaar is well off the line in left. Gabby pulls the ball down the third base line. He might run around the bases twice. 2 on and 2 out for Moreno. That's going to get into the seats out of play. Gabby singled and scored in both the 2nd and the 3rd. Marte is at 2nd and Carroll's at 1st. It's in the air. It's hit deep to right field. Walker has got it just shy of the warning track, and they strand 2, but they get 1. Diamondbacks have scored in 3 consecutive innings, and after 4 they lead at 5-0.
So far, another outstanding start by Brandon Pfaadt. A lot of soft contact, everything down, 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 backdoor sweepers. Everything seems to be working for Brandon today, clicking with James McCann back there behind the plate. And he's used all of his pitches. Once again, we expect him to use all of his pitches, but he's really spread them around today.
He's allowed only 2 base runners so far, Brandon. A single by Mason to win in the 2nd, and a 1-out single by Burleson in the 4th. And he has been on the attack and very efficient. 54 pitches, 37 strikes. Mason Wynn leads off the St. Louis 5th. Look out.
Whoa.
Fastball up and in at 90.
You saying it hit him? I don't know. It looked like Brian Walsh was pointing toward first base, and
yeah. I mean, he's looking into the Diamondback dugout, Brian Walsh, to see if they want to challenge, and they will not. There's a look. Why refi a slow-mo look? Just grazed the bill of the helmet.
Oh, man.
Well, he got out of the way just in time. Thank goodness. Knocked the helmet right off. Good call by the plate umpire.
Yeah. Probably more on sound than on sight that time. He probably heard the ball tick off the bill of the cap or the helmet.
Double play ball here. Marte for 1. Perdomo cannot quite turn it, as Nathan Church with that center fielder speed beats it out. That ball's hit pretty hard, but Church's speed is the difference there. Jeff Bannister on the phone to have a look, and no challenge from the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, just too much speed from the batter runner that time. Church just gets on the base ahead of the relay throw by Perdomo.
That's the rookie center fielder that has taken over that spot for the Cardinals, and the foot speed is a big reason why. Jose Fermin, the third baseman. Fermin started at third base last night, singled twice, scored what turned out to be the decisive run when he led off the 9th inning with a base hit. Church 5 for 8 in his stolen base attempts this year. Cardinals down 5-0, though, need some base runners. Fermin has appeared in 61 games. That's by far a career high for him. Now in his 4th year with the Cardinals. And he's played nearly every position on the field. Launches this very high in the air, left center. Max Kepler falls off Waldy, and Church will stay put at first. 2 outs in the 5th. After the Diamondbacks-Dodgers game on Friday, August 7th, you can enjoy a free post-game concert featuring Jayco. So add on to your ticket with a concert field pass, and you can see the show from right down there on the field. Visit dbacks.com/concerts. I was going to do my hair like that, decided not to. I think I could pull it off.
Hair?
Well, one of us has to, and I'm not sure that we're fully equipped. Pedro Pie has the catcher, fought at 60 pitches, 39 strikes. This has become the stereotypical Brandon Pfaadt start. This is the way it's been the last 3 starts, all wins. He leads this one 5-0. Couldn't check on that sweeper. Part of the thing that Torey Lovullo points to with the improvement of Brandon Pfaadt, and now that he's a starter, he spent time in Reno, he's rediscovered his feel for those breaking balls, the curveball and that sweeper. Kept that one just off the edge of the zone. And back to the sweeper again. Something Torey Lovullo talked about with Brandon is it's in his DNA. He's a starter. Like some guys relievers, some guys starters, some guys are both, but they had him in that sort of nebulous relief role. He was a long man, then he was a short man, and then he's at Reno, but now he's getting back into his routine. And it's in his DNA. He's a starting pitcher, and that seems to be his comfort zone. And it certainly seemed to have made a difference. Just off the edge with that fastball, it's 2-2.
And I'm sure moving forward there will be days where Brandon doesn't feel the curveball, so we see more sweepers and cutters. Other days maybe the sweeper's not quite there for him. He's got something else to go to now.
Pages fights off the sinker there. Of course, we've talked a lot about the simplified delivery, no longer going over his head with a pitching motion. Just less moving parts. He's more on time with everything. He's got Church down there at first base. 2 outs and a 2-2 count on Pages. Right there, right down the middle. He caught looking at a sinker. 3 strikeouts for Brandon Pfaadt. He has worked 5 scoreless innings of 2-hit baseball. Brandon Pfaadt doing his thing and leading 5-0.
So Tim, walk me through that homer yesterday.
Just saw a pitch out over the plate or middle of the plate and stayed through it well. And
what's it feel like being on this hot streak you're on right now?
Feels good. Just want to keep it going, keep riding it.
Todd Walsh back here at Chase Field.
What happened there?
Well, that's baseball's version of an interception. We were preparing for a Top Step interview with Tim Tawa, who we'll see coming up third this half inning, and Taylor Clark, who has done this before. The cameras just haven't always been rolling, and he demanded that he start the interview, hard-hitting questions, direct and to the point. And we're probably going to put him on our freelance budget and see if we can make that happen. I'm always impressed with how Taylor can get to the point.
I was impressed by the way Tawa kept a straight face.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And Taylor made sure he was elevated above, looking down on his interview subject, which is a little trick of the trade, as you guys know. So, but we went on and did get a chance to talk to Tim. And by the way, very quickly, Bob, I mentioned your comment last night to Tim about just sometimes getting that barrel out, getting your arms extended, and that feeling, that great feeling that only a hitter can identify, sometimes propels you. And he was so locked in on that and more. I don't know if you heard it on the pregame show, but he was in lockstep with you on that.
Clearly, you've inspired Tim Towa, so congratulations for igniting this hot streak.
I'll take no credit.
Max Kepler leads it off.
But any hitter will tell you that. You go up to the plate and, for example, I'm looking for a fastball middle of the plate in just above the belt. And you get that pitch and you put the barrel on it, and there is no feeling in the handle of the bat. You just kind of propel the baseball in a different direction. And boy, has Timmy been doing that lately.
Max kind of squirts it up the line. He nearly hooked it fair. Just hooked it a little bit too much there. And it's still 2-2. Kepler has walked and scored part of that 3-run Diamondback third. They've scored in 3 consecutive innings. Arenado's had a big day. A single and a 2-run double. And then Towa on deck behind him. 80 pitches for May. Kepler smokes that one. Now he's hooking it down the other line. Slicing, hooking the whole thing. I don't think it was fair for Taylor Clark to have Tim Towa go like 2 steps down and then Taylor literally towering over him. And Taylor's a pretty tall guy anyway.
Yeah, he's already several inches taller than Timmy Towa.
And Tim's not exactly Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the height department. Kepler digging these cutters and sinkers out of the dirt.
You were talking about the pitch count problems when Dustin May's on the mound. He walks a lot of guys, he strikes out a lot of guys, and those are the kind of pitchers that do get elevated pitch counts early in the game.
He's walked 4. He struck out 5 through 4 innings so far. Yeah, Dustin May has not made it into the 5th inning since a complete game 1-hit shutout of the Padres. That was back on June 15th. He has gone 2 innings, 2/3 of an inning, 4 2/3 and 4 in his last 4 starts. So this is sort of right about in lockstep with that pattern here.
I saw that when I was working in Chicago for the Cubs. Carlos Zambrano.
Oh yeah,
one of the great pitchers of his era, but he would run up a pitch count early in the game, have 8 strikeouts and 6 walks by the 4th inning.
And Mays had done that a lot too, or he's nearly thrown one at the backstop. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat to Max Kepler, who walked his last time up. Here's a look from our Moss cam. And finally warmed down. He wanted to get him with that cutter, threw that pitch a whole bunch in that sequence, but he picks up his 6th strikeout.
Some strikeouts are a little different than others. You go up there and swing through 3 pitches in a row, that's an easy at bat for the opposing pitcher. But if you grind out 10 or 11 pitches, that's a whole different thing. And May getting that pitch count up there now.
Usually a hitter 1 or 2 behind you is the benefactor. Nolan's already 2 for 2. That's coming back here as we get this from Andrew the home buyer.
Catch the best deal for your house by calling me, Andrew the home buyer.
Arenado with 12 homers. That's as many as he hit all of last year with the Cardinals. Sinker is there at 96 and it's 0-2. Nolan at 245 on the year now, just 2 hits away from 2,000 career base hits. No activity in the Cardinal bullpen. May has been, he's already passed his pitch limit or pitch total from the previous 2 starts, 81 and 84. He's at 88 pitches right now.
Yeah, Cardinals did have some guys moving around in the 3rd inning when he was really struggling out there, but nobody doing anything down in the bullpen right now.
Sinker didn't quite come back. It's 2-2. Towa on deck. Tim has had trouble with that May sinker. He struck out twice on that pitch. Now they'll start to get some activity down there. Matt Swanson, the right-hander. Nolan.
A little slip there by May on the mound.
Full count 3-2. 90 pitches, 55 strikes for Dustin May. This is the most pitches he's thrown in his start since he blanked the Padres back on June 15th. Arenado hits a high fly ball. It'll hang up for Nootbaar. He just got under that one.
Oh, just a tad.
2 outs in the 5th.
Made a good sound, but as you said, just under it a tick that time. Caught the bottom part of the baseball, cast it high in the air to left field.
Just pull those hands inside the ball. Got a fastball in at 98. There is Tawa, who has struck out twice on low sinkers from Dustin May. Tim was telling Jody Jackson last weekend in LA that ever since he broke his hamate bone a few years ago, he's been choking up on the bat. You'll see that he leaves a pretty decent amount of handle down there below that bottom hand. Got a belt tie fastball and missed it. Five scoreless innings of 2-hit ball for Brandon Pfaadt. He has struck out 3. He's not walked a batter. Walker over to give this a look, but it's out of play. Burleson chases it up the line. Big crowd here today. A big 50-50 jackpot. We're already over $73,000. And remember, today the Diamondbacks portion of the 50-50 will benefit organizations providing humanitarian aid to those most impacted by the Venezuelan earthquakes. Today's jackpot benefits the earthquake relief efforts. Big jackpot. Half the total can be yours. The other half goes to help our friends in Venezuela. As we know, the Diamondbacks organization deep ties to the Venezuelan community, so you can help out. The Brenly favorite is up top. $100 gets you 602 numbers.
I know $100 is a lot of money, but like I say all the time, call your neighbors, call your relatives, call your friends. Hey, give me $10. We're going to put a group together and buy 602 tickets.
You can divide it up amongst yourselves. Nice take there by Tawa. Diamondback hitters for the last 5 plate appearances have run the count full 3-2. You've got to think that this is definitely it for Dustin May. Just getting him through 5 the way he's struggled lately is a bit of a victory here, but he's, if nothing else, been consistent in terms of the pitch count.
Look at that.
And a big double play as part of that 9-pitch first after he walked Marte to lead off the game. And has labored ever since. Tawa to center. And it's run down a sinking liner caught by the rookie center fielder Church. To the 6th inning we go, leading 5-0.
We're celebrating.
Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing. Cool plays the game. 5-0 Diamondback lead for Brandon Pfaadt. Back out there to start the 6th against St. Louis. He's given up only 2 hits, both singles. He's not walked a batter. He's got 3 strikeouts. J.J. Weatherholt, the rookie second baseman, leads off the St. Louis 6th. D-backs out hit the Cardinals 8-2. They got a 5-0 lead. First pitch curveball, steals strike 1. Weatherholt 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. He homered here last night. His 14th of the year. Weatherholt, in terms of wins above replacement via Fangraphs, is 12th among all major league players. That includes pitchers. And since WAR is cumulative, he's on a pace that would establish a record for a rookie second baseman, and he's got a base hit here to lead off the 6th. Terrific looking young rookie, already with a $112 million contract extension. Here's Ivan Herrera, the DH, 0 for 2. That's just the 3rd hit for St. Louis. Weatherholt does run. He's 9 for 9 at his stolen base attempts. But the Cardinals here down 5-0, need some base runners. Ivan Herrera, an all-star for the first time this year. Went without a base hit last night, but scored a run in the 1st and drove in the game-winning run in the 9th with a sacrifice fly. And broke up that 4-4 tie. Branded at 70 pitches now. And there's a sinker down the middle. Dustin May, 98 pitches through 5. It certainly seems like he's done for the day. Cardinals have a couple of right-handers warming up in their bullpen. We saw Swanson earlier. He's been joined by Gordon Graceffo. Ollie Marmol's Cardinals hold that 3rd National League wild card spot for the moment. They're 6 over 500. Might have broken the bat there, popped up near 2nd for Perdomo. And there's one away. Cardinals got a big scheduling boost over the first half of this year. They played 52 home games, their most before the All-Star break since 1973. But now the flip side comes around. They have to play 38 road games in the second half. That's their most after the All-Star break since 2007. So it won't be all that easy for them.
Well, and they haven't been playing that great at home. They were 26 and 26 at home, 25 and 19 on the road.
Still in 3rd place in the National League Central behind Milwaukee and Chicago. The Cubs hold that top National League wild card spot. Burleson has one of their 3 hits, a single in the 4th. Cardinals playing 20 consecutive days coming out of the All-Star break. They'll go to LA to play the Angels after this. And then they have to go home for the makeup against the Diamondbacks at Busch Stadium after that 4th game last month got rained out. When it really didn't rain all that much. 2-0. Right on the corner with a sinker for a strike. It does seem like the Cardinals have brought the rain with them into the valley. So thanks for that. Just by a diving Marte, Burleson hit that changeup pretty well. And Weatherholt is in at 2nd. Very underrated hitter, Alec Burleson. One of the better hitters in the league. That one off the bat at 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's dangerous from that left side of the plate. Big time power. That time just rolls the top hand over and scoots it past Marte into right field.
It's going to get Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach, out to the mound, and now some activity in the Diamondback bullpen as Ryan Thompson starts to loosen up. The next step in the evolution of Brandon Pfaadt is getting a little deeper into the game. Now he's been very efficient, and they've kept the pitch count under control. 66, 72. He got up to 77 last time at Dodger Stadium. So he's right there right now. But in his 3 starts since he came back, he's yet to go as deep at 5 2/3. So he's right on the cusp here. And so it might be a very short leash from this point going forward.
You see James McCann's glove there. Instead of his name, he had McCannon written on the thumb of that mitt.
Inspiring. And in the Sanderson Ford bullpen is the sidewinding Ryan Thompson. 2 on and 1 out for the home run derby champion. Jordan Walker leading the major leagues in RBIs. Big spot here for Brandon Pfaadt. Walker so far has twice grounded out to Arenado at third. He's 0 for 2.
Yeah, through the first 5 innings, Brandon only gave up the 2 base hits. He's given up 2 in this inning. Need a ground ball right here.
Walker has an active 19-game on-base streak. Weatherholt's at second and Burleson's at first. Wow, chased that big sweeper. A lot of movement on that one. He nearly fell over hacking at that one. It's 0-2.
Not sure if that was ever in the strike zone. Great location to get that swing and a miss.
And Walker will take time out. He's having a big month of July, Jordan Walker. He's hit in 8 straight games, 13 of 14 this month. Walked and singled last night. Now the 0-2. Won't chase that time. That was worth another shot based on that previous swing. 80 pitches for Brandon Pfaadt, 52 strikes. Rolls it just by Perdomo and into center. Weatherholt coming around to score the first Cardinal run, and it's another RBI for the major league leader. And St. Louis is on the board. 3rd hit in the inning against Brandon Pfaadt. Jerry was shaded a little deeper over toward 3rd, and there was some room out there, and Walker found it.
Just got the end of the bat on that ball working away from him, but as you said, Jerry was over in the hole a little bit between 3rd and short, and that gave Walker enough room to punch that ball up the middle, drive home the first run of the game for the Cardinals.
So they will stick with Pfaadt here for Nootbaar. This inning shaping up to be kind of a Ryan Thompson ground ball special.
Yeah.
Nootbaar 0 for 2. Brandon not getting ahead in counts like he was earlier in the ball game. There's another first pitch ball. Brandon Pfaadt through first pitch strikes to 11 of the first 14 batters he's faced, but he's now thrown first pitch strikes to only 3 the last 9.
And his misses are getting a little bit bigger. Maybe some fatigue out there on the mound. Everything he threw early in the game was mid-thigh and down.
What a nice take there by Nootbaar on that changeup. It's 2-0. This might be Pfaadt's last batter here. Burleson is at second and Walker at first. Through the sinker by him. Perdomo's right behind the second base bag. There's all kinds of room on the left side of the infield for Nootbaar. One offer at the change. It's 3 balls and a strike. Mason Wynn, the shortstop, who has one of the 5 Cardinal hits, is on deck. Wynn drove in 3 runs in last night's game. (3-1) fouled away.
And the velo's sneaking down there a little bit for Brandon Pfaadt as well.
All sinkers and changeups here to Nootbaar. Big pitch here with a 3-2 count. That one rolls by Marte. Just open ground out there. Burleson stops at third. They're loaded now with 1 out. And it's time to get Brandon Pfaadt out of there. He has been terrific here, but he has hit a wall in the 6th. And sure enough, here comes Torlavello. Brandon was just superb. 5 scoreless innings, only 2 hits allowed, no walks. But the Cardinals in this 6th inning have a run home. They have base hits by 4 of the 5 batters in this inning, and they'll go to Ryan Thompson to get him out of this mess. Back from Chase Field in a moment.
Proud partner of your Arizona Diamondbacks.
Well, Brandon Pfaadt with a 5-1 lead leaves the bases loaded after the Cardinals found some holes in the infield. Got a terrific reception from the Diamondback crowd here. They turn it over to Ryan Thompson, who had a pair of scoreless outings at San Diego last week. And then a scoreless appearance Sunday in Los Angeles when he was the winning pitcher in that Dodger Stadium finale. He'll face Mason Wynn with the bases full of Cardinals and 1 out. Burleson at third, Walker at second, and Nootbaar at first. 1-run home for St. Louis. 4 hits in this inning, all singles, and there's strike 1. Wynn has singled. He was hit by pitches last time up.
Wynn can really run, but he has bounced into 7 double plays this year. A hard hit ball right at one of the infielders would work.
0-2. Pfaadt responsible for 3 base runners. Here's Wynn, who had a 2-run single in the first last night, walked in the 6th. Drove in a run in the 8th inning with a sacrifice fly. Slowly hit to short. Marte for 1. And he'll hold on to it as Burleson comes across it. It's 5-2. Wynn's speed up that first base line convinced Cattell just to eat that one, settle for the 1 out. Wynn aboard for the 3rd time tonight.
Just wasn't hit quite hard enough. I mentioned Wynn runs really well. Good move by Marte. Fake the throw to first and hope the runner rounds third base too far, and then you can throw behind him over there, but Cardinals right on top of that one.
So now you've got Walker at third base, Wynns at first. 2 outs and 2 runs in for St. Louis. And the batter is the center fielder, Nathan Church. 7th man to bat in the Cardinals 6th. Church 0 for 4 last night. Twice had potential base hits snuffed out by some Diamondback defense. And there goes Wynn off and running.
Whoa.
McCann throws through. Thompson wasn't looking. It nearly hit him in the head. He knocked it down. Thank goodness that Walker's still at third base. That would have been a disaster.
Almost looked like a design play that Ryan Thompson wasn't ready for.
Ryan was looking, yeah.
He threw it right at him. I mean, that ball wasn't going to be close to second base.
I think they're maybe hoping to catch Walker coming off third. Sort of set a trap for him right there, but boy, that one nearly caught Ryan right in the grill. They practiced those plays for these particular situations. It looked like it was on, but somebody missed a sign. Probably Ryan Thompson.
There's a few different options. Obviously, you can throw straight through to second base and try to get the base stealer. You can throw to third and try to pick that guy off. You can have one of your middle infielders come straight in from his position and throw the ball to him, or in that case, it looked like they tried to throw it back to Ryan Thompson and draw Walker off the bag at third.
Fortunately, they're able to avert disaster, but Wynn does get into second base. Now a 1-2 count on Church. One offer at the sinker. Nathan Church, an 11th rounder by the Cardinals on a Cal Irvine. Jose Fermin on deck. Popped up. Perdomo's under it. Cardinals get a couple runs across. And in the 6th inning, it's still a Diamondback lead. They're up 5-2. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule provided by Desert Financial Credit Union. One more to go against the Cardinals tomorrow. The homestand continues Monday with 3 against the Athletics. Then you've got that Thursday rain-up makeup game, which has turned the 3-city road trip into a 4-city trip. So even after Sunday, we'll have one more against St. Louis, and that could be a big one in determining a potential tiebreaker down the road. Gordon Graceffo, the right-hander, on for the Cardinal bullpen to start the 6th inning, a 5th-rounder out of Villanova, and he's had a nice year this year, 39 appearances and a 2.91 ERA. Big right-hander, 6'4", 220 pounds. James McCann gets first look. Dustin May is done for the Cardinals after 5 innings. May gave up 5 runs, all earned, 8 hits. He walked 4, struck out 6.
Graceffo's another one of those right-handers that has reverse splits. He leads all major league right-hander reliever in reverse splits. Lefties are hitting 116 against him.
He's down to AAA Memphis for a bit, just recalled earlier this month. That's a high strike on the slider by Brian Walsh back there. McCann not quite sure, but didn't challenge. He's only got 1 left, and so it's 1-2.
What a turnaround for Brandon Pfaadt. When he was sent down to Reno, his ERA was 5.92. In the 4 starts since then, his ERA is 2.14. 21 innings, only 1 walk.
Effective and efficient. And McCann chased the slider for a strikeout. Pfaadt today, 2 runs, 6 hits, 5 1/3. Struck out 3, didn't walk a batter. There's one away here in the 6th. There's Ryan Walschmidt now. So Pfaadt in line for what would be his 4th win in 4 starts since the Reno recall. Waldy doubled and scored his last time up against Dustin May. Slider right at the knees for a strike. Forget the D-backs Give Back 50-50 raffle supported by Avnet. We're right about $90,000 with a big crowd in here today. And all the money going to benefit Venezuela earthquake relief efforts. The Diamondbacks portion of the 50-50 will all go to help provide humanitarian aid to those most impacted by the Venezuelan earthquakes. As the D-backs organization teams up with Major League Baseball in this effort, you can be part of it. And also someone else going to win a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
There it is. Today's jackpot, the 50-50 charity raffle supported by Avnet Cares. Diamondbacks with deep ties to the Venezuelan community want to help the humanitarian aid effort after those horrible earthquakes in Venezuela. We're up over 90,000 and climbing. It's only the 6th inning, so we're going to end up with a very big number here today. This place is, folks really turned out today. Not a lot of empty seats around the ballpark on this Saturday afternoon. Enjoying the air conditioning. It's free air conditioning.
Free.
We don't charge extra for that.
Although looking at some of the pitchers in this series so far, guys out there sweating bullets.
Well, some of these lineups will do that to you.
Yep.
Marte's been aboard 3 times. He's on deck behind Waldy up there with a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 2 strikeouts for Graceffo. As Ketel Marte checks in, and we check in with Law Tigers.
We're the Law Tigers, and we understand the challenges riders face every day. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, Arizona's motorcycle lawyers.
Marte, the leadoff hitter. He has walked. He has singled twice. He scored a run. He's got an RBI. coming back this way. Marte singled last night, 1 for 5. Little quiet stretch for Ketel going into the game today. Last 8 games, 5 for 35. He's been aboard every time he's been up today. Weatherholt has it at second, and Cepho with a 1-2-3-6. You're watching Diamondbacks baseball from Chase Field on D-Backs TV. It's presented by Y-Refund.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Arizona Diamondbacks and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Summertime in the Valley means Diamondbacks baseball. We're all buttoned up, cool and comfortable inside Chase Field. Welcome back. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, Todd Walsh, Mark Grace along the way. Here's Jonathan Loaisiga on to start the 7th inning. 40 appearances for Loaisiga. Last 12 in a row have been scoreless, including late Friday and Sunday in that sweep at Dodger Stadium last weekend. Jose Fermin will lead it off for St. Louis. D-backs about hit the Cardinals 8-6. They lead it 5-2. Fermin, the third baseman, 0 for 2. Well, Loaisiga's just been pumping him in there. Upper 90 sinkers, change-ups, curveballs. He's been very good lately. 31-year-old right-hander, now a Diamondback after 8 seasons with the Yankees. Here's a good example. He's not messing around here.
That is a wicked sinker, starting just off the outside corner and tailing back into the strike zone.
And when he wants chase against the right-hand batters, this is where you might see a curveball in 0-2. He tried it there.
That's a good spot for it, too. You don't want to make a mistake with a curveball on an 0-2 count and hang it up over the middle of the plate where the guy's already defensive at the plate, just trying to put it in play.
Speaking of defensive, just takes a little hack at that 2-strike curveball. Catcher Pedro Paez is scheduled up next, but only Marmol going to run a pinch hitter out there. Rookie Brian Torres, a left-hand bat, is in the on-deck circle. He would hit for Paez.
And we talked about it earlier. Paez is the better defensive catcher of the 3 that the Cardinals feature, but doesn't hit much.
And Torres, a 29-year-old rookie, finally getting his first big league opportunity. Is set to pinch hit. It's still 1-2 on Jose Fermin. Diamondbacks offense was rolling against Dustin May. They scored in 3 consecutive innings, but things have gone quiet offensively, and the Cardinals have scratched their way back into this thing just a bit. And Fermin really making Loaisiga work here as we start off the 7th. Now the 3-2 pitch.
One thing, this Cardinals team is really good at hitting foul balls.
They seem to be, yeah.
Holy cow.
Keeping those at-bats alive.
Yeah.
Ollie Marmol's club 6 over 500. Holding on for the moment to that final wild card spot. Fermin wants time, didn't get it. And the sinker ran in. He didn't offer, says Tyler Jones. Fermin was frantically signaling for timeout. Brian Walsh didn't grant it, but he ends up with a leadoff walk anyway. Right here, time. Walsh didn't see it.
Wow.
That's the first walk issued by a Diamondback pitcher today.
I mean, we saw a late request by, was it Perdomo earlier in the game against Dustin May. A lot later than that.
And then Tyler Jones down at first said no, he didn't swing, so it's a leadoff walk. And here is Torres batting for Paez.
Brian Torres, left-hand batter, 194 and 4 homers in just over 30 games this year. He slams it deep to center. Waldschmidt to the warning track. One away in the 7th. Well, it's time to purchase a special event ticket pack for Harry Potter Night. It's coming up Monday, August 3rd. Padres will be in town. You'll get a game ticket plus the D-backs house scarf of your choice. You can go to Griffin Puff or Ravenclaw or Slither Gruff, whatever you want. It's all there for you. dbacks.com/Harry Potter. That's Monday, August 3rd with the Padres in town. Oh boy, Weatherholt just squirted it by Arenado. There was a lot of room over there. Kind of a heads-up play there by Weatherholt, who's got a second hit and a big smile on his face. A little sneaky right there, sneak attack.
And that sinker working its way away from Weatherholt that time. He just slaps it past Arenado at third base. It was playing in to protect against a possible bunt. Just can't make it.
A rocket off the bat at 61 miles an hour. That's kind of the way the Cardinals got back into it in the 6th inning. Just a lot of holes in the infield. Brandon Garcia, who was so impressive in the ball game here last night to get the final 2 outs in the 9th, is warming up again in the Sanderson Ford bullpen as Brian Kaplan heads out there. You've got Herrera, the right-hand batter, coming up, and then Burleson, the tough lefty, on deck behind him. And remember, Brandon came in to strike out Burleson in that 9th inning last night after the Cardinals got the go-ahead run across.
And you would assume that's what this meeting was all about. Just stall for some time. Give Brandon Garcia enough time to get loose.
And we'll see in the meantime what Loaizaga can do with Herrera. The DH is 0 for 3. St. Louis threatening again, coming off 2 runs in the 6th. Now in the 7th, they have 2 on and 1 out for the All-Star Ivan Herrera.
Herrera's bounced into 13 double plays this year, leading the Cardinals. I'd like to see him pound one of those sinkers in the ground right at Jerry.
Remember, Herrera gets hit by pitches more than any other player in the game. You try to run that sinker in there, you might get him. He's been plunked 24 times this year, the most in the majors. Just pumping it in there at 98, 1-2, looking for that ground ball. Burleson on deck. There's a look from our dirt cam at Jose Fermin. He's at second base. J.J. Weatherholtz with speed at first. 1-2 on Ivan Herrera. Got him. Yeah. He's stuck with that sinker. Let's see if they want to go to Garcia here. Looks like Torrey's going to make his way up the steps. And they'll go for that same Garcia-Burleson matchup that worked in the Diamondbacks' favor last night. Loaizaga gets 2 outs, responsible for 2 base runners. And Brandon Garcia, the left-hander's on his way in. We're back in a moment on D-backs TV.
Join me as
back at Chase Field, well, the Cardinals got 2 runs in the 6th inning across. They're threatening again in the 7th. 2 on and 2 out, and here for the 2nd game in a row, Brandon Garcia on to face Alec Burleson for the Cardinals. Brandon, 29 appearances, 27 have been scoreless this year. He struck out Burleson in the 9th inning last night, and now here's the rematch in the 7th inning today. Loaizaga responsible for Fermin at second and Weatherholt at first with 2 outs. Burleson has singled twice. He's 2 for 3.
Brandon Garcia has made now 13 consecutive scoreless appearances. And over that stretch has allowed only 2 hits with 17 strikeouts. 0-1 is lined to right. Corbin Carroll is there. And Garcia strands 2. It's a 0 on the board in the St. Louis 7th, and it stays 5-2 Diamondbacks.
You know, I want to play in October again. That's what I told to my teammate. You know how much important is playing in October. The body is very different. You know, that's why I try to tell them every single time, like, we gotta win again.
Well, that was Geraldo Perdomo on his bobblehead day today, mic'd up for us and telling us all about that October vibe. As he also mentioned, trying to put some pressure on Mike Hazen. He wants to make sure they are buyers at the trade deadline. Things headed in the right direction today with a 5-2 lead. New pitcher for the Cardinals, left-hander Justin Brule. His first season with St. Louis. And Perdomo leads it off. We saw Brule for a while with the Dodgers. Jimmy Crooks is the new catcher back there after they hit for Pedro Pajes. Brule's had stops with the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Pirates, and the Blue Jays now in his first year with the Cardinals. Jerry is 0 for 2. He walked back in the third. Diamondbacks have not had a base hit since Ketel Marte's RBI single in the fourth, and now Perdomo leads off the seventh. Looking at those matchups. 2, 3, and 4 scheduled up here in the Diamondbacks 7th. They've out hit the Cardinals 8-7, but things offensively have been a little quiet after they scored in the second, third, and the fourth.
Never seen one of Torre's scorecards, especially after a ball game when he's made all the changes and moved pieces around here and there. But I think most managers have their own kind of shorthand.
Sure.
I used to number all the relief pitchers for the opposing team, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to however many they had.
What was the point of that? Just to know how many they had left?
No, just so that I would know. For example, David DeLucci on the bench. He's got good numbers against number 3, number 6, and number 9. Bad numbers against number 1, number 4, number 7.
Well, you can see the back of Torre's chart there. They have a very complicated color coding system. As you can see, some guys are green, some guys are red, some guys are in between. But that tells you this is a good matchup, this is a bad matchup. It's all about the matchups, of course, this guy versus their guy. Some matchups you want the big time green light, others the big red stop sign. Do not do. Corbin 0 for 2 with a walk. Where your cards probably weren't laminated. They have very fancy things now are color-coded, laminated.
Well, and the analytics. I mean, I've said it many times. We used analytics back in the day, not to the extent they do now, but basically you just looked at histories. You looked at numbers, and okay, this guy does well against that guy, this guy not so much. And you try to look for those matchups late in the game that favor you.
Burleson off the bag, and Brule does a nice job to beat Corbin to the base at first. And there's 2 outs in the 7th. Big lefty in a foot race there with Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, fortunately for Brule, he's a lefty that pretty much squares up after he releases the ball. A lot of left-handers will fall off the mound to the third base side and not be able to get over there and beat Corbin to the bag.
He's got 2 outs so far on just 8 pitches. Now he deals with Gabby, who has singled twice and scored twice. 2 for 3. So far in relief of Brandon Pfaadt, we've seen Ryan Thompson, Jonathan Loaizaga, and Brandon Garcia. Got 6 more outs to cover. Torey Lovullo has established Kevin Ginkel as one of the main guys in the 8th inning, and Kevin is set to go in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. He'll get 4, 5, and 6 in the St. Louis 8th. 2-0 on Gabriel Moreno. And sweeper didn't get there. 3-0. Gabby's already been aboard twice. Max Kepler on deck behind him. And that sinker a little low, but a strike on 3-0.
Brule can be crafty out there. He's a crafty lefty. He'll add a little, take a little off.
As a right-handed person, I object to the fact there are no crafty righties. Why can only lefties be crafty?
There's crafty righties out there.
Not sure.
Not as many. It's that whole left-handed thing.
Well, you got to give him something. Diamondbacks have had only 1 base runner since that Marte RBI single. With 1 out in the 4th inning, that was a walk to Corbin in the 4th. They have not had a base runner since. 3-2 on Moreno. Yeah, Brule's been around the block. That's why he's pitched for so many teams. I mean, that's the other side of it. Dodgers, Rockies, Pirates, Blue Jays, now the Cardinals. And it's been a long battle here with Gabby. The 8th pitch is coming up. And there's a base on balls. Moreno aboard for the 3rd time. And a chance for Max Kepler, who is now going to get, you figure, more time in left field because of some late injury news right before the first pitch today. We were told that Lourdes Gurriel is now on the injured list with a strained right adductor. And Adrian Del Castillo's had a big week at AAA Reno. A lot of homers, a lot of doubles. He's back up from Reno. He was playing at Salt Lake last night. And so Del, a late arrival today. So you're going to figure that he'll get some looks against right-hand pitchers, Adrian Del Castillo. And Kepler's going to see a lot more time in left. Got some flexibility out there. Max 0 for 2. He walked and scored in that 3-run D-backs 3rd. Checked on the sinker in the zone. It's 1-2. Kepler's had a very lively bat as of late. He's hit in 4 straight, 5 of 6, 8 RBIs in those last 6 games. Had that bunt single base hit his first time up last night. I don't think anybody had that on the bingo card.
No, but the Cardinals had it on their card today.
That's for sure, right?
Vermin was playing way in until the 2-strike count.
20 pitches and counting for Brule in this 7th. And Max kind of scoops it behind second. Backpedaling out there is Wynn. And he's got it. They strand the 2-on walk. Kevin Ginkel on his way in with a 5-2 lead.
There are trucks.
Well, the Diamondbacks organization with deep ties to the Venezuelan community and its baseball players are teaming up with Major League Baseball. And today, in the aftermath of those devastating earthquakes in Venezuela, Diamondbacks' charitable portion of our 50-50 raffle will benefit organizations providing humanitarian aid to those most impacted by the Venezuelan earthquakes. And you can help us out. A big jackpot already. We're over $113,000. And the Diamondbacks portion of that will go to help earthquake victims in Venezuela.
Once again, great job by D-backs fans both here at Chase Field and calling in from home. We appreciate the support.
42 appearances for Kevin Ginkel. He induced a double play ball to win a scoreless 7th in his outing in the ball game last night. Jorge Barrosa replaces Ryan Walshman in center field. And Jordan Walker, the Major League's RBI leader, who had an RBI single his last time up, leads off the St. Louis 8th. He did not go, says Tyler Jones. At first, it's ball 1. Seen this a little too often for the Diamondback offense. They load up on offense early in the game, and then it's crickets afterward. They've not had a hit since the 4th inning, but they're hanging on to a 5-2 lead, and sure enough, the new guy, that's the rule, gets the first ball.
It's remarkable how often that happens.
It's a little creepy, frankly. Every time there's a defensive sub, the first batter of the inning somehow finds whoever it is, wherever they are on the field, and that was Barrosa right there. Here's Lars Nootbaar, a single in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Over in the American League, Michael Brenly's Boston Red Sox, who've won 11 consecutive games, are trailing against Tampa Bay 5-3. They're in the 4th inning at Fenway Park. 11 consecutive wins.
Yeah, it's been quite a run for the Red Sox. They've gotten great starting pitching. The bullpen's been solid, and all of a sudden they started to hit some home runs.
1-1 on Nootbaar. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got to keep an eye on some of the teams the Diamondbacks are chasing in the wild card. Pittsburgh won a makeup game against Cleveland 7-1, but this scheduled game for tonight is delayed. They're having some rain. Yankees and Dodgers rained out in the Bronx. Already showed you the Cubs, who have the top wild card spot in the National League. They beat Minnesota 6-2. The Marlins very much in the thick of things. Trail at Milwaukee 6-3. They're in the 7th at American Family Field. Didn't offer, says Bill Miller. Couldn't find a strike there. And it's full 3-2. The Padres are at Kansas City. The Royals have a 6-1 lead. They're in the 9th inning now. So you sort of like where things are headed here. The Padres are losing. The Marlins are losing. This makes a win today all the more important for the Diamondbacks as Ginkel finally wears down Nootbaar for the 2nd out.
What a vicious downer slider. When he's throwing that pitch well, it's nearly impossible to hit if he gets it in or around the strike zone.
Such a weapon. Shortstop Mason Wynn. He's been in the thick of things offensively throughout this series for the Cardinals. Win yesterday, singled, walk, drove in 3 runs. Today he's Got a single. He's been hit by a pitch. He's knocked in a run. He's stolen a base. Gold Glove shortstop in the National League last year, Mason Wynn. Ryan Stanek, the veteran, he's got more than 500 major league appearances, is ready in the Cardinal bullpen, along with Matt Swanson, who I think has thrown a complete game down there. He's been warming up like since the 3rd inning.
He's almost reached his pitch count.
Yeah, I think so. Ginkel not giving Wynn anything right there. It's a quick 2-out walk, and then work to Nathan Church. Church 0 for 3. You have to be careful with Church. He's got some surprising pop in that bat. Just turned 26 years old last weekend. He's taken over their center field job. Remember, they had the speedy Victor Scott II, who was out there for the longest time, but he didn't hit this year. They sent him to AAA Memphis. And Church has slid in there and done a nice job. Bat's been a little quiet lately, though. It's 0-2. Yeah, Church last 20 games is hitting only a $119. So he's hit a bit of a dry spell here. He's 0 for 4 last night. He's 0 for 3 so far today.
See if he goes back to that slider here after a fastball up and away to a left-handed hitter. Come right back with that hard slider down and in. Nope, another fastball.
Slapped it foul at 97 up and away. Sticking with that heater.
Yeah, looked like Mack was going to try to back pick down there at first base on Wynn. He's kind of sliding to the first base side of his area back there behind home plate, but the pitch was fouled off.
Goes back to what we mentioned before with James McCann. He's called now for 5 consecutive fastballs. And Church finally gets the slider and drives it deep to center. Barossa makes a running grab. Jorge Barossa all the way to the wall in center. And now to the head from the Diamondback coaches, a gold star for Jorge. That's the final out of the 8th as Church got the slider and hit it all the way to the wall in center. Barossa's there and it stays 5-2.
All season long.
Jorge Barossa had a tough moment last night, but made up for it right here with his terrific track down to the ball deep to center.
He started at 318 feet away from home plate. He made the catch at 389. Wow. Running straight back to the wall.
He has always been a superior defensive center fielder. Nolan Arenado leads off the 8th, the former Cardinal, against current Cardinal Matt Swanson. In his second season with St. Louis out of Lehigh University. Big right-hander, 6 feet 5, 235 pounds. His 37th appearance of the year. ERA is up over 6.5. High sweepers to strike it. It's 0-2. Nolan has singled, doubled, and knocked in 2 runs. He is 2 for 3. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Diamondbacks. 2 runs, 7 hits for St. Louis. Arenado lifts it out to short left. Nootbaar got a late break, but he's able to run it down. And there's one away in the 8th. Cardinals in the 9th inning will have Fairmean, Crooks, and Weatherholt due up 8, 9, and 1. Here's Tim Towitz, and he's so far today 0 for 3. Paul Sewald to Had a tough night last night, warming up in the bullpen right now. Sewall was the losing pitcher last night. Sanderson Ford bullpen. There's Paul Sewall. Came in a non-save situation in that tie game. Gave up that run in the 9th. High bouncer to Weatherholt at second. And there's been some encouraging news on the pitching injury front from Torlavello this morning. Ryan Nelson coming off that elbow and forearm inflammation, the flexor thing. He's all set and he's going to begin throwing, which is remarkably good news. J. Marter's thrown a million bullpens. Had a live session today over at Salt River. And A.J. Puck getting a second opinion on that shoulder from Dr. Elatrash in Los Angeles. But, well, that's very encouraging news for Ryan Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
They feared the worst right there. And, you know, J. Mart coming off his surgery is just dying to get back in there. James McCann, an RBI single in the second. He's 1 for 3. So you get some encouraging pitching news, but some discouraging news in terms of Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who went on the injured list today. And there's Michael Soroka, Ryan Nelson. Soroka's awfully close as well. There's Adrian Del Castillo, who played at Salt Lake last night with Reno. He just flew in, and boy, are his arms tired. He got in here, I think, right about time first pitch was getting underway. So Del is back from Reno, where he had a big week, a bunch of doubles and home runs for the Aces. He'll take the roster spot for Gurriel. Bounced over the mound once more for Weatherholt. And so here we go. 9th inning, a 5-2 Diamondback lead, and Sewall coming on in. Well, the Diamondbacks got all their offense early. 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. They've not had a base hit since that RBI single by Marte in the 4th inning, but it's been enough. The pitching and the defense has made it stand. Desert Financial or Casino Arizona Talking Stick has our post-game preview. Todd Walsh and Mark Gray standing by. Wildemaro Vargas takes over at first base for Tim Tawa alongside Paul Sewall. 38 appearances, 22 saves. He had saves in each of his last 3 outings to close the first half, but then took the loss here last night. And he came on in the 9th inning in a non-save situation. And there's Vargas at first. Jose Fermin, Jimmy Crooks, and J.J. Weatherholt are scheduled hitters in the Cardinal 9th. Fermin walked his last time up. He is 0 for 2. Diamondbacks 3 outs away from win number 50 on the year in game 98. Fastballs there. 50-50 jackpot up over $120,000. Our Diamondback fans have done another amazing job as we raise some relief funds for the Venezuelan earthquake victims. Sweepers in there for strike 2. Diamondbacks can hang on and win this one. You feel good about Erod on the mound here tomorrow with a 12:30 start on D-backs TV. If you can take this one in tomorrow, you clinch this victory in the season series, and then you have the tiebreaker. Potentially it comes to that with the Cardinals at the end of the year. Fermin will challenge. Well, that sweeper didn't quite sweep it. It almost hit Fermin, and he almost swung at it anyway. Here's a look. It's in there.
That's right.
That one it kind of didn't sweep, but did a little, enough to lock him up right there.
Yeah, he wasn't quite sure what to do with that pitch. Was expecting it to move a certain direction, and it didn't. Both his feet were off the ground. Very creative.
Well, the backup sweeper, sometimes it works. Catcher is Jimmy Crooks, his first at bat today. In the 9 spot, Weatherholt on deck. Crooks in the catching mix for the Cardinals. He started last night, singled and walked from the 9 spot. This is well hit and deep to right. And that one's going to go. Not done yet. Jimmy Crooks is third. And the Cardinals are not going away. It's 5-3. Crooks is a guy they like, a 4th rounder out of Oklahoma. Still qualifies as a rookie this year. And he's kept the Cardinals alive. That one went 443 feet.
Yeah, that was a blast way back into the bleachers out there in right field. You could tell right away the sound, the arc of the ball off the bat. You knew that wasn't going to be good.
Came in and took over behind the plate after they hit for Pedro Pages. So now the Cardinals with the All-Star Ivan Herrera have the tying run on deck behind Weatherholt, who's up there after singles in his last 2 at-bats.
A little bit of a delayed call that time for Brian Walsh. That low sweeper.
Just might have nicked the bottom of the zone. It's 0-2. Cardinals down to their last challenge. As are the Diamondbacks. Swing and a miss on the sweeper. He gets Weatherholt for his 2nd out. Now this from Andrew the home buyer.
Catch the best deal for your house by calling me, Andrew the home buyer.
Ivan Herrera, the All-Star DH, does not have a hit in the series so far. He's 0 for 4 today. They're on their feet at Chase. And Sewald wants to talk it over with James McCann. Here's the pitch to Weatherholt. Herrera's bat has cooled off last 20 games. He's hit a .167. And he is 0 for 4 today. Tap foul at 3rd. Back with you tomorrow at 12:30 on D-backs TV. Don't forget our free view. We'll give you the free game tomorrow as well. dbacks.com/watch the place to go. And Warner Rodriguez back from the All-Star game takes on Andre Palante. And St. Louis down to its final strike. Run with the fastball up and in. Push him off the plate a bit. Maybe come back with that sweeper away. Burleson would be next. Walker behind him. This is the guy you want to get right here. Now the 1-2. Oh boy, he left that fastball right on a tee in the middle of the zone. Got away with it. Corbin Carroll's in right. And that's the ball game. Win number 50 for the Diamondbacks. And they'll go for the series victory tomorrow with the All-Star Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound. A big day for the former Cardinal, Nolan Arenado, now 2 hits away from 2,000.
Boy, and a great job by the entire ball club to bounce back after what was one of the ugliest losses of the year and play a really good game here today. They ran the bases well. They hit with runners on base, and the pitching was fantastic, started by Brandon Pfaadt.
They did not get a base hit after Marte's 1-out single in the 4th, but it was enough
And they get the victory for win number 50. Todd Walsh and Mark Grace are standing by. The postgame show is next on D-Backs TV.